Hi guys, I'm going to show you how to do a pinch pot animal and how to get set up with your project. You're going to have a ball of clay, you're going to have some water at your table, and then you're also going to have some tools to work with. Underneath you're going to have a blue mat like we usually work with. I like to fold it in half because sometimes when you have 4 workers here, it could be a little bit too large, and you don't really need that large of an area where you're working. So I just fold it over and give yourself a nice work area, because that's going to be very important as you do this project. To get started, once you have your ball of clay, depending on how big you're going to go with it, we're not going to go huge. We want to keep them fairly small, just so we don't waste material, and they really don't need to be that large. So I like to take it and I'll take off a little piece of the clay here, and I'm going to just leave a good amount that I can use later on if I want to attach something to my pinch pot. So make it back into the ball again. Okay, you might have to roll it like this, you might have to pat it on the side, trying to get it nice and round. There might be a few cracks in it, that's okay. You can always smooth them out, but you don't have to get it perfectly round because you don't want to work with it too much. It could dry out, and you don't want it to dry out. It's hard to work with then. Alright, it looks like I'm ready to go. So I'm going to take my thumb and I'm going to start working and building my pinch pot. You might find that this is a lot easier than the green clay to make a pinch pot. I'm going to start off by making it nice and round, just like that. Okay. After that, I'm going to take it and start pinching it and turning it. When I'm doing this, I'm trying to feel the thickness of it. I want it to be even, and I'm doing this a lot. I wouldn't want to just squeeze hard a couple times because it's going to be not even. So I'm spinning it, and I'm just pressing a little bit while I do that. I'm not pressing it hard. I'm just testing it to see if it's even, and eventually it'll get bigger and bigger, but you really have to work it. Okay, and then I like to use a couple of thumbs once I get a little bit bigger, and I can really feel the thickness of it. Okay, as you can see, it's getting a little bit bigger. And I think I like this size. I don't want it to get too thin either, otherwise it will collapse on me. Okay. So here we have a nice little pinch pot that I can build my animal off of. Now you could go like this and build out the sides. You could turn it over, build on this side, build over here. It's really up to you. For this one, I'm just going to show you how to make a cat. So I'm going to turn it over here, and I'm going to use that extra piece of clay that I had, and I'm going to make a head right here, and I'm going to have to attach it to it. So let's start off first of all. I'm going to, again, take off a little piece. You never want to use too much. You always want to leave a little bit left over. If you do run out, there will be some available that you can use, but not a lot. Okay. I'm going to take this now, and I want it to be flat. I don't want it to be too round because it won't dry out. You have to make it a little bit thinner. So I'm going to make a flat piece of clay, kind of like we did with the owls. I'm going to take that piece now, and I'm going to shape it a little bit better. So I'm going to take a tool, and I'm going to take one that's a little bit sharper on the end, and this one looks good. I'm going to dip it in the water, clean it off, and then also when you're cutting the clay, it makes it a little bit smoother and it cuts a little bit better. And I'm trying to do like an oval shape because this is going to be the head of a cat. Okay. So here we have a nice oval shape. You can kind of form it with your hands then, and that's going to go right here, and I'm going to attach it right on top of that. Okay. To attach a clay, this is very important that you scratch and attach. Some people call it slipping and scoring, but I usually just call it scratch and attach. It's a little bit easier to remember. So wherever you're going to attach something to another piece, you have to scratch on the back. Okay. There's some nice tools in there that have little teeth on them, kind of like that. that you can just scratch really easily. Sometimes I put a little water on there to loosen it up. And then since it's going to be attached to right here, I'm going to scratch right there. Okay. I'm going to take that and I'm just going to press it right on there. This is going to be my cat's head. Okay. There's no eyes or nose on that right now, but I can do that a little bit later. I'm just attaching it on there. Okay. So that looks like it's stuck on there pretty good. Next I want to do some eyes and nose and maybe those things. I could use a pencil, I could use some tools in here. I could even use, something like this to make an eye. We'll see how that looks. That's a little too big. I don't like that. I'm going to erase that off there. The nice thing is you can erase really easy. You can actually attach little pieces on here. I'm going to go like this and I'm going to attach a little eye on there maybe. I think that would look a little bit better. Let's see right here. I might need to scratch it a little bit, just a little bit. Maybe put a little water on there. And maybe a little bit there. Not too much water though. And I'm going to press that in there, like so. And then I'm going to use a pencil now to make the middle of the eye for the cat. Okay. Then after that, I could build the ears. I could pinch the ears up, going like this, or I could take some more clay and I could attach them. But again, you're working with your hands. You're trying to build it. Use those skills that you've learned over the years and trying to make it look the best you can. Okay. So. Again, scratching and attaching, you could add, stuff right here, tail on the back. The one thing you don't want to do though is have something that's far away from it because it'll dry out and it'll fall off later on. But again, continue working on it, and that's it for right now, and good luck.